am now live on YouTube, so I will be, well, all of these reads will be live. So if you guys don't get to make it in time, no big deal, no big deal. All right, so I'm going to go through the ones that I had from the other night first. Miss Candy, you are first. And if you guys have never watched me read with this deck, first of all, let me turn it right side. Oh, thank you. I was like, what the hell is the water? Well, all right. We're going to do it that way then. I feel like there's one more in here. All right. Woo! Y'all are going to get to watch me. Y'all are going to get to watch me yawn a lot, apparently. All right, Miss Candy, you ready? I know it was kind of an abrupt end to Reiki. I was like, wait, that was really abrupt. I apologize that it was that abrupt with it. So my arms have been a little sore, and I had to do my bionic thing the other day, and I got it in the muscle this time, and it's weird feeling. Like I can feel it, and it's gross, but I don't want to take it out because these things are expensive. So I'm just going to deal with it. But my other arms are kind of sore just because we've been moving a lot of shit around the shop. So, yeah. But, Bitsy, I saw you ask about Diet Pepsi. No, that doesn't count, but we'll let it count tonight, okay? Thank you, Kiwi. All right. Yeah, go attack those chicken nuggets. I brought popcorn in here. Yeah. All right. Candy. You start off with the Brave Traveler. And then you have two cards. The one on top is Foresight and Wisdom. And what's funny is the one underneath is Fiery Wrath. These two came out together. Then you have the Feminine Intellect. So, here's the thing. Right now, you're in a spot where you are kind of in uncharted territory with your life. Not only are you in kind of uncharted territory, you're facing it in a more brave way than you ever have before. What I love about this is this card in general, and really this whole line, suggests that you're growing at an exponential rate as far as yourself, your inner self. Here's the thing though. The more you grow and the more you travel forward, the more you learn and the more foresight you have and the more wisdom you have. And then you're looking back, you're looking forward. Now, here's the thing. When we grow at an exponential rate, we start looking around and we start paying attention, and the things we start seeing and learning tend to poke holes in the things we've always known about, which is kind of where you are right now. That's what this is. This is the Fiery Wrath card. The problem with, well, I don't want to say problem. The thing with moving forward and with starting to trust our intuition and starting to realize that our gut feeling is always right, and realizing that a lot of this stuff in our past is bullshit, we get this Fiery Wrath. The key is to not let this part overwhelm you. And the key is also to let this be a catalyst. I have a popcorn kernel floating around in my mouth, and it's irritating the shit out of me. That's what I get for eating popcorn while I'm trying to talk. So, right here. You have to let this Fiery Wrath, this anger that wells up inside you for feeling like you've been lied to, or feeling like the world wasn't what you thought it was, what you were told it was, etc. You have to let this be a catalyst. You have to let it be a catalyst for change. You can't allow it to just hold you down and keep you in place, because that's what it's designed to do. Every time we go through a growth pattern, we have this happen. We gain a lot of wisdom. We gain a lot of amazing insight into the world around us. And we also see where we've been lied to. We've been lied to. And sometimes it's just our own belief. You know, we grew up believing it was this way and it's really not. So we get angry. And then people allow that anger part of them to just keep them stuck in place instead of allowing it to move them forward. So that's where this comes in. This is that feminine intellect card. You really need to get to your own divine feminine. When I see this and then this, babe, you're entering your villain phase. You're entering your, I'm just going to say the divine villain phase. Everyone goes through villain phases, okay? Now, this doesn't mean that you're just going to be an evil ass to everyone that comes along. This is getting down to the nitty gritty of what Candy needs to do for Candy to make sure that you aren't being held down by this anger and all of the bullshit, okay? Trust that divine feminine. Trust that intellect. Trust that intuition. Trust all of that, Candy, okay? Because that anger and that divine feminine and that divine villain phase is going to show you depths of your own self that you didn't realize existed. Okay? Yep. And I'm sorry that things around you have been a little shitty lately, sweet pea. They kind of have been for everyone. Just so you know. But I'm always here for you, okay? Now I got my stupid list. Oh, it actually did it correctly. What? Holy shit. All right, Revelle. Ready? You also have some candles going out in my shop today, or tomorrow, excuse me, tomorrow. Tiffy Pooh, thank you so much for helping me keep track. All right. You're welcome, Candy Hun. All right. So, Revelle, you have steadfast and loyalty. Then you have beauty and vanity. Then you have the berserker, the warrior. And then you have opportunity. So, it's kind of interesting. You got some interesting shit going on around you. Thank you, Gemini. So for those of you guys that are asking, yes, I am live on YouTube. All right. Let me just say this, okay, Revelle? Whatever is going on right now, you have been putting your loyalty and your faith behind someone who is only appearing to be what they are. They're not really what they are underneath the surface. They're appearing to be this amazing, wonderful person, and you're putting your loyalty behind them. Now, here's the thing. I have a feeling that this person, it's not just the person, it's the situation around this person. And the reason I say that is because of the different things in the cards here. There's a lot of tapestry. There's a lot of hats. There's a lot of flamboyance. So this is someone that it's almost like they perform for groups of people, if that makes sense. I don't think that all of the loyalty is completely unwarranted. Big yawn. But what I do think is that they're about to move into a phase where you're going to see the real person there, not just the outside. The Berserker, the Warrior card, I have a feeling that this person that you've put all of this loyalty in, that you just see this beautiful outside, they're really fighting an intense battle on the inside. Whether this is something mentally with them, whether it's a situation around them, whatever it is, they're really, really fighting deep inside. And that's going to start coming to the surface because you can only hide those things for so long before the people around you start to know what's going on. With this person, you've been putting your loyalty behind them and doing what you can to help them and so on. There's an opportunity coming for you to kind of give back to them what they've been giving to you. Does that make sense? So when I see the opportunity card there, I don't think that it's an opportunity for them to take advantage of you or you to take advantage of them or whatever. It's for you to finally give something back to them that they've given to you. But just know that they are absolutely, absolutely fighting something deep inside that is starting to bubble to the surface. Okay, I'm glad I saw you say that you understood and this made perfect sense to you. So I'm glad, because this is a really interesting situation, a weird, interesting situation. Good. I'm glad you knew exactly who that was. And thank you for letting me move you guys. All five or six of you guys, let me move you. No, 4. I'm sorry, I'm on crack. Don't listen to me. I have got to quit fucking saying that because I live in Oklahoma. I gotta quit saying that. Yeah, the internet here is going in and out. And I'm actually on the 5G because apparently my internet is just completely going in and out. Miss Tammy, you are next. So I am live on YouTube for those of you guys that TikTok is being kind of a pain in the arse. And if you guys have not checked my live schedule, make sure you do, because I have a big announcement next week and I would love for you guys to be there. It will be on Tuesday. Just saying. All right. Tammy, ready? All right, Tammy. So you have the feminine intellect first off. Then you have the present. Hey, Denise, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that, love. Then you have the man behind the mask. And then you have economy and revenue. So here's what's interesting. Okay, let me back up. Let me say this first. I'm proud of you, because having that feminine intellect card first tells me that you've really been setting some boundaries hard, that you've really been trusting your gut, that you've really been paying attention to all of the signs. You're being more firm in dealing with everything and everybody. You're not taking bullshit anymore. These things here, though, with you getting yourself a lot stronger, with you setting more boundaries. I'm gonna get all comfortable here for Tammy's. With you setting boundaries, with you moving forward, with you being a stronger person, You're looking toward the future a lot. And I'm not going to say don't do that, okay? But what I'm going to say is this. The present card here tells me that you have to make sure you are in the present, that you are in the present moment. Because if you are not, you're missing out on a lot of other things. So pay attention to the future. But this card right here tells me that there's something right in front of you that you're missing out on, that you've got to pay attention to. The suspense behind the mask here. This is a whole other monster. Let me see what's going on here. There we go. This is a whole other monster. So with the suspense behind the mask, and with the economy and the revenue over here. What I find really interesting is whatever this is in the present right now, there's a lot of masks going on. You're not seeing the whole picture. And I think that's why this whole being present right now and paying attention is, it's causing you to only see the surface level. But the divine feminine, that feminine intellect you've got going on, is causing you to feel all the turmoil down there. So you're having a crazy amount of this anxiety and this just mistrust going on, but you have no idea where it's coming from and where to direct it, where to diffuse it. It's because you're not paying close attention to the thing right in front of you. So by not doing that, all that suspense behind the mask is what's causing problems. It has a lot to do with your finances, with your money. So I have a feeling this is something work related, okay? Because this right here is just, it's just a weird situation. I don't think things are being hidden from you on purpose. I think that they've just always been that way, and maybe you haven't paid attention, or maybe they have been being kept from everybody and not just you, if that makes sense. But Tammy, you've got to really, really pay attention to what's going on in front of you right now, okay? This is where your anxiety is coming from. And I think if you pay attention to everything and you figure out where that suspense is and where that anxiety is, I think it's going to go really far with helping you with this revenue, with the issue around work, okay? My sister just texted me like the weirdest thing, and I saw it on there, but I can't look at it because it's just like a picture. I don't know, but I hate that. A lot of people are losing people around them right now. I've noticed a lot of people have passed away. A lot of people have had people pass away in the last few days. So, yeah. My sister texted me something weird. Your boy okay? But it's not any one of my kids, okay? So, yeah. It's just weird. All right. Zoe. Yeah, a lot of people. In fact, my dad lost one of his uncles, so I guess one of my great uncles yesterday, the day before. And then I just, while we got on here, had a text from somebody that just lost their grandma. And yeah, it's a little crazy right now. All right. Hold on just a minute here. I had to look because then I got to thinking, I was like, man, what's going to happen if that isn't just a pic, if it's not just something funny? So that was, I had to check and see what it was my sister sent me, because that was just really weird. But my sister sent me a picture because it said, your boy okay? And I'm like, what is that? Apparently in Sand Springs, somebody found a little white chihuahua that looks exactly like Zeus. Exactly like Zeus. It's the weirdest thing ever. So now I'm like, I know my dog's in there, but should I go check on my dog? The little fucker's in there on my bed asleep, but it looks exactly like Zeus. So my sister's like, your boy okay? I'm like, he's okay. He's okay. So, yeah. I hate that though, because like, even though I know he's in there, I want to go in there and look. Hey, thank you, Keegs. I appreciate that. All right. All right. Now I'm going to go look. Son of a bitch. I'm just going to wake him up because now I'm paranoid. Even though there's no way he could have gone 40 miles. See, told you he's fine. Yeah. I woke him up and he's snuggly. And probably a little cranky. But yeah, him's my yeah, he was sleeping. He was so sleeping. Yeah, he wasn't on the bed. He was on the couch. And when I went looking for him and I saw the little head come up, yeah. So Zeus is 12. He's 12. He's my little old man. All right, Zoe, you ready? Ms. Zoe, you start off with informed decision. You don't want up here on? Okay, fine. He is a teacup. He only weighs like 5 pounds. So when he's really, really fat, he weighs 5.5 pounds. All right. So Miss Zoe, you start off with informed decision. Then you have economy and revenue. Apparently this is the card to get here lately. Then you have reflection. I'm surprised I'm seeing this card a lot. Because I've only done, what, 5? And this is 4. This is the Fiery Wrath card. So, the one thing I love about this deck is that it doesn't really sugarcoat shit. It doesn't sugarcoat shit. So, Miss Zoe. The informed decision card is actually the rule of 3 card. What I find interesting is that starts off this other line here. Economy, reflection, and anger, basically. So, just because I kind of know a little bit about what's been going on with you, let me say this. You've got, I'm trying to figure out how to words it without saying the things that are too personal. You've got a decision coming up that's not actually just a decision. It's not. It's going to be a multitude of decisions. So no matter if you choose the right path or the left path, either one of those is going to have all these other decisions with it. Okay? So it's not just a yes or no black and white decision here. I know you know that. I know you're not dumb. I know that you know no matter what you choose, it's going to have ramifications. But here's the thing. There's a separate decision there. It's almost like there's yes, no, and then maybe. There's black, white, and green. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a whole other decision there that's kind of being hidden a little bit. So if you take a step back before you make the decision, if you take a step back, just say, you know what, hang, give me a second. Literally take a step back. Look at the situation like you would if, say, this were me and you were talking to me, okay? Look at the whole situation. Look at the economy of it. Now, the economy is not just financial, okay? Economy has everything to do with all of the things that go into your finances. Whether this is your job, your car, your desk, your clothes. You see what I'm saying? All of those things. Your schooling, what you're trained in, what you're not trained in. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay? It's not just your finances. It's not just what you earn. The next thing you need to look at is reflecting back on what got you to this precipice. What got you to this point right here, right now, that's causing you to look at making this decision, okay? Now, here's the key. And this is whenever any of you are reflecting on anything. Don't just look back and be like, oh, I wish I'd have done this or I wish I'd have done that. When you reflect back, you need to look at the whole situation. Okay, so here's the choices, and this is the choice I chose, and this is where I am because of it. There's always going to be good and bad with every choice you make. Even a decision that is so fantastic, it puts you exactly where you want it to be. There's always a good and a bad with it, okay? So when you go back and reflect, you need to look at all of the good and the bad. Don't just look at the bad. Don't just look at the good. When we reflect, we tend to just look at the bad more than anything. But look at everything, okay? Because here's the thing. Part of what got you to this decision point was anger, was a fiery wrath, okay? So you have to make sure in this reflection that you address that anger, that you address what it is that got you there. By looking at all three of those aspects, you're going to see that middle decision, that middle path that is not blatantly obvious right now. It will be, but it's not blatantly obvious in this moment right now. You're only seeing black or white. You're not seeing the green path in the middle. Does that make sense? So if somebody's pressuring you for an answer about this decision, you literally just need to tell them to hold their fucking horses for a little bit because, I mean, literally, get it. Sorry. They don't need to be pressuring you right now, okay? Seriously. All right. Miss Chelsea Smart. I haven't seen me some Chelsea Smart in forever. Where's the Chelsea? Where's the Chelsea? You're welcome. You're welcome, Zoe, honey. How the fuck are you, Chelsea? I haven't seen you in a while, honey. I miss you too, sugar. My sister just texted me and said, he was found in Sapulpa, not Sand Springs, Sapulpa. It looks like Zeus, but I'm not sure it's him. But I doubt it's him. That would make a little more sense because it would mean that, you know, I took Zeus to work and so on. So, and then my sister probably doesn't realize that I'm on a live right now. I miss you too, Enrique. Hey. I found you, huh? I mean, I find everybody for a reason. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, Carrie, how are you? All right, Miss Chelsea Poo, you ready? Girl, you just keep going through changes. Like, there's no sitting still. There's been no downtime. So you have the berserker, the warrior. Then you have the doorkeeper, which is navigation. Then you have transformation, I shit you not. And then you have the spirit of lightning. And then my OCD makes me line the cards just up like that. All right, so here's the thing. Honey, I don't think you're meant to sit still. I don't think you're meant to have a lull. I don't think that you're meant to be normal. I don't think that you're meant to just chill and relax and sit. I think that this life here, and I think you're probably already starting to realize it. I think that what I'm saying right now is kind of just confirmation. You kind of are lightning. You kind of are transformation. You're continually going to be transforming you. You're continually going to be a lightning bolt moving forward. Hey, Sarah, thank you for subscribing, sweetie. You're going to be always the berserker, always the navigator, always moving forward. And here's why. Because even though all of these cards seem a little different, they all really have one thing in common. Think about it. The berserker is always moving. A navigator, always moving. Transformation, always moving. Lightning, always moving. All four of these cards are always moving. Our ripples touch everybody. No matter if they're stagnant or they're moving. Hey, Christina, thank you for subscribing, sugar. They touch everybody. If you are always in motion, always in a frenzy, always navigating somewhere new, always transforming yourself, always changing and shifting and moving, your ripples are going to touch so many more people. Hey, Zuzu, thank you. Thank you for subscribing, love. If you are continuing to move, you're touching more people, more ripples, more situations than you would if you just went through your normal everyday life. So I want you to look at things like this, because I know how hard it gets being in a constant state of change. I know how hard it gets when you just wake up every morning and you look around at the universe and you're like, okay, this is what we're doing today. All right. It fucking sucks. It sucks. But I want you to look at it this way, okay? There's a reason that you are the berserker. There's a reason that you are shifting and changing. There's a reason you're lightning. There's a reason that you are the lightning bolt through all of these other lives around you. They need the lightning bolt. All of the other lives that you're coming into contact with as you're on this crazy path that you're on is because you are the lightning bolt that gives them the energy to move forward or backwards or sideways or up or down or whatever. You give them the energy they need to continue to move. As shitty as it is, as shitty as it is, it's a fantastic thing to be. That I started this journey for you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, and all of my mods can tell you this, the more you're around me, yeah, you don't just get to sit still when you're around me. Yeah. 3 years. Have you really been watching me for 3 years? Oh my gosh. Why is that making me blush? Why is that making me blush? Honey, it's awesome to be this. It's awesome to be the lightning in other people's paths. So, yeah. Aww. Y'all are so sweet. I've loved you right back. I'm glad you found me too, Erin. A year. Wow. Y'all are gonna make me all blush. Blush and yeah. So, Miss Chelsea Pooh, don't stop being the lightning, okay? Don't stop being the lightning. I promise. Oh, hang on, let me go back because I actually understood part of that. Did that make sense, Chelsea? Is that what you needed to hear today? Because apparently the universe needed you to know that it's okay to be lightning. I love you times infinity too, sweet pea. Aw, I love you right back, Miss Joy. Well, I hope that it's good changes. I hope that it's good changes. You know what's really funny? I realized the other day that like I wear so much Moldavite on a daily basis, and I was like, why am I wearing this shit? Like it doesn't even faze me anymore. All right, Miss Kathy Mazel, are you ready? I've actually been thinking about giving away my pendant. I've got this big old beautiful Moldavite pendant right here that I bought in New Orleans, and I've been thinking about giving it away. So, all right, Miss Kathy. I've tried giving my ring away repeatedly, and it just continues to not go anywhere. I don't understand. I did a drawing, and I gave my ring away, right? And the person that won it said, I don't think I'm ready for it. I would like for you to give it to the next person. So I chose someone else, and they never got back to me. And so I chose someone else finally, like 2 months later, and then they said the same thing the first person said. And I was like, well, okay, then I guess I'll just keep it. It was crazy. It was crazy. But I love it. I love it. I love that you guys are getting to the point where you know, hey, I don't really need Moldavite right now. Because there for a while, everybody was just rushing into getting it. And then I actually need to make a video because I saw somebody tagged me in a thing where this one girl was asking, where are the people that got Moldavite that had some amazing changes happen? Like, I heard that it ruins everybody's lives and so on and so forth. And it's made mine fantastic. Like, it's made mine utterly fantastic. So, yeah. All right. Kathy. You ready? Well, you start off with Loki, the god of many faces. Then you also have transformation. I love this card. It's just a gorgeous card. Then you have creativity and novelty. Clarity and novelty, excuse me. And then you have peace and counsel. So, Kathy, what's interesting is I feel like this actually represents different people in your life. So, the pentagram, the 5-pointed star, represents the whole self, the whole person, okay? You have all the elements. You have water, air, fire, and earth. And the 5th element is the spirit. What this is right here, this is representing 4 different people around you. And you are the 5th. Okay? You have someone that is a chameleon. They're able to be whoever they need to be in the moment. They're a little ornery. They're a lot ornery. They're a lot ornery. But they're able to be who they need to be in the moment. Okay? That's the first person. Then you have this second person who is continually going through change. Change, 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 change. Some of it, they're just constantly reinventing themselves. They're just constantly changing. Then you have this person here who always has really interesting insight about everything. They seem to see the world around them in a very clear, precise manner. And they have a lot of novelty when it comes to nostalgia and things like that. And then you have this last one, which is peace and counsel. And this one in particular is your stronghold. This is your happy place. This is the person that you know you can speak to at any time, and they will give you a peaceful answer that helps you in here kind of calm down. All four of these people right here represent parts of you. They represent parts of you that you haven't been connecting with lately. In fact, I would bet that as I went through each one of these four people, you were like, oh, that's so-and-so, and I haven't talked to them in months, or, you know, whatever. You need to get back in touch with these people if you haven't been in touch with them. If you haven't been speaking to them or whatever, you need to get back in touch with them, okay? Because they represent a different part of you that you haven't touched in a while. So, I hope that helps. I hope that helps. You need to get back in touch with them. Okay? All right, Sarah, you ready? Thank you. Thank you, Yelp. I appreciate you subscribing, love. So I go back through every evening and I'm following my subscribers. Those of you guys that are doing the auto subscribe, I'm making sure I follow you guys back. And those of you guys that are subscribing, I make sure I follow you guys back. But it only lets me follow a certain number a day. So if I haven't got to you yet, don't stress. I will. Okay? I will. Hey, Sarah, I see you over there on YouTube. Woo, okay. So let me do this real quick, if it'll let me. There we go. And then some of you guys, I request to follow. So just saying. The name of these cards, these are Dropple. They look like this. Well, this is backwards, but I'm trying to figure out where to get some of these to carry in my shop. I will say, if you guys find these, they are not a cheap deck. This deck is one of my more expensive decks. I think it cost me about 85 bucks at a different shop. What I love about them is that they are all from the Norse pantheon. And they are all utterly fantastic. The artwork is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So yeah. All right, let's see here. Who did I just miss? I don't remember. I was looking at something and I just, so yeah. Yeah, this is one of my favorite decks. It's a big deck too. It's 84 cards if I remember right. And I have small hands, so sometimes it's hard for me to hold the whole deck. But, this is one of my favorite decks. It absolutely has a personality of its own, and when it's not used for a long period of time, it kind of is an asshole. Just saying. I'm working on getting these in the shop for you guys because I'm having a hard time finding them. Other people are having a hard time finding them. So I don't know if they're out of print or what. But I'm trying to get some in the shop for you guys. So yeah. All right. Sarah, I'm going to murder your last name. Curvers. Hopefully I didn't murder your last name. All right. Okay. Ready? Ready? So you start off with darkness and fog. Then you have the keeper of secrets. Then you have poetry, language, and expression. And then you have perpetual desire. What have you got going on? I swear this is like a love triangle here. I swear this is like a love triangle here. So, Sarah, some of this is, and please don't take this the wrong way when I say this, but it's the only way I can think to say it. Okay. Some of this is that you have finally learned how to keep secrets from other people. One person in particular. So here's what I don't know, and I'm just going to go through this, and it is what it is. Because this is either that this is like a love triangle aspect, or this is somebody that lives rent-free in here and in here, and you cannot get rid of them. But you've gotten very good at hiding it in the darkness there. Here's what I'm going to say. Whoever this person is, they bring out this expression in you that you didn't realize you had. Not a triangle. Okay. So it's the second one. So whoever's living rent free. So here's the thing. Whoever this is, they bring out an amazing form of expression in you. No matter what they do to you, you always, it's like, no matter what they have done to you, let me say it that way, you're always going to care about them. You're always going to love them. You're always going to have that special place in there. To me, all of this screams of a twin flame situation. A twin flame is not someone that is meant to be in your life for a long period of time. But they're always going to live right here and right here, fucking rent free. They are. A twin flame is someone that is meant to live parallel to you. And then when you start to get off your path, they are sent to knock you back on your path. Hey, thank you, Kathy, for subscribing. So if you're doing this way and you're supposed to be doing this and you have this parallel flame, and the two of you are never technically supposed to meet unless one of you fucks up. So you're going like this and suddenly you start to veer off course a little bit. Well, guess what? This one's going to veer off their course and y'all are going to hit like that. And this is one of those relationships where you are like just instantly in love. You are instantly all in with this person. And it's amazing. And it's like just a flashbang and it's just crazy and wonderful. And then just as fast, that person leaves. They're gone. They're out of your life and they have moved on like everything is hunky-dory and you never happened. However, you got knocked back on your path and you take all of this healing for a very long time, the rest of your life. And it seems like this person over here, they were never phased. like they never met you. Because they did their job. They knocked you back on your path. A twin flame is not meant to be in your life forever. That is a soulmate. So what this talks about, Sarah, is this twin flame situation. You're always going to think about this person. And I don't know if it's because maybe you've been trying to get them. Oh, I'm so glad, Tyler. That makes me happy. I don't know if this is because they've been popping up in your head lately or whatever. They were brought into your life because they needed to unlock this amazing expression that you have. So this also tells me that you're insanely talented with words. You're insanely talented with poetry, with writing, with language, with whatever it is. You're really talented with it. And they brought that out of you. They completely brought that out of you. Don't let that stay a secret. Don't let that expression stay a secret. Okay? You're always going to kind of pine after that person. You just are. But I'm proud of you for kind of keeping that in the darkness a little bit. So, you express yourself, but keep it to yourself. Yeah. You need to start sharing some of that, even if you share it anonymously. Okay? Even if you share it anonymously. Sweetie, you're really talented. And that was this whole person's job, was to bring that out in you. When you've had a twin flame situation, you get really good at hiding that hurt, at hiding that, and moving forward. So there's a reason they've been popping back up in your head lately. Because you need to get back to this expression, okay? I would love to know what it is you create. I would love to read some of your writing, etc. Aww. And Sarah, see, you had a couple other people that were like, I needed to hear this. I needed to hear this. Just saying what I'm saying. Hey, Jennifer, how are you, sugar? Oh, yes. Absolutely. I would totally love to see that kind of goodies. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Miss Jessica, ready? Thank you guys for all of the new follows. I appreciate it. Hey, Diani, thank you. Twin flame readings usually do hit kind of hard because people have this mistaken idea that a twin flame is like, you're supposed to be there forever, and they're not. They're not. That's a soulmate. The soulmate is supposed to be there forever. Twin flame, not so much. But the twin flame can absolutely devastate you. Just absolutely devastate you. Yeah. Yeah. They can be bad or good. They absolutely can be bad or good. All right. Ready, Jessica? Woo-wee. All right. So you have the first human man. So here's one of the things I love about these cards. Some of them are like this, where they're very abstract and so on. And then I'll show you some of the other ones in a minute. Then you also have treasure, beauty, and design. And all of the details in that one is just, yeah. And then you have some that are more realistic, like this. This is a master craftsman and diligence. Then at the end, you have temperance. So, Miss Jessica, let me just say this. Don't shoot the messenger. And you're kind of getting tattled on a little bit. Like I said, these cards are not... Oh, they don't always sugarcoat shit. They don't always sugarcoat shit. So, here's the thing. I'm going to start down here and work my way this way because I am. And I'm going to yawn while I do it. First of all, I don't know what is going on that you kind of need to back off of a little bit, but this Temperance card here is all about taking things in moderation. And I know that this is totally the pot calling the kettle black because I'm a workaholic and I tend to work way too fucking much. And I know that I need to chill out with that. But every time I chill out, shit seems to happen. So, oh, good. I'm glad I said your name right. I'm always worried I'm going to murder somebody's name. So I'm so glad I did. Wait, I'm glad I did not. I'm glad. Okay, words. I'm glad I said your name right. I digress. So, there is something that you've got to start doing more in moderation because it's keeping you, okay. Woo! Okay, Jessica, I don't know if you are here or not, but what is going on? It's like when I try to concentrate on your cards, I'm exhausted. Super crazy exhausted. But not only super crazy exhausted, but it's like I can't wrap my head around each of the different cards. Like I know what this says, but I can't. It's so that right there tells me that you've got a lot of shit going on that's holding you back. I don't know if it's brain fog. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know if you've been sick, like whatever is going on. You're having a lot of issues with it. So this whole aspect of taking things in moderation is because whatever it is you're doing too much of is because it's keeping you from your craft. And I don't necessarily mean that as in like a spiritual practice. It's keeping you from what you're talented at, what your soul is just good at. Hey, Boris. Thank you, sweetie. How are you? It's keeping you from doing the thing that you are naturally amazing at. And the world needs that because a lot of this stuff over here, your soul has always been talented at this. The thing that you create is just absolutely gorgeous. And you don't realize how much this helps other people. I don't think you see it. So whatever this is that you've fallen down over here, that you, not fallen down, but you've fallen into doing too much, it's keeping you from all of this stuff. I kind of feel like whatever this is that you're doing too much of is to kind of dull down this other aspect, because all of these cards over here are very frenzied. There's a lot of detail, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of movement, but yet this one over here is just one dark stoic person. So also the fact that I had to start over here and work my way that way tells me that either you're dyslexic, you have severe ADHD, or there's something going on with your brain that your brain doesn't work like normal. So you don't read left to right like normal people. You read right to left. So you've tried to kind of numb your brain down a little bit, but it's keeping you from this. Okay? So moderation, honey, because this talent that you hold is absolutely brilliant, and it needs to be shared. Okay? I love you right back, Michelle. So I hope that made sense, Jessica. And don't shoot the messenger. Don't choose a messenger. All right. Who is this? Miss LaGayla next? Yeah. Yeah. How are you, LaGayla Pooh? Woo! Okay. Well, you're throwing cards at me. So, I mean, there's that. There's that. Okay. I'm so glad. So you threw 2 cards at me. I had to go fetch them. And I'm going to read them in the way that they fell because they literally were together. And then I pulled the other 2. So the way that they fell is like this. So this one's underneath this one. The top one is peace and counsel. But the other one is the known unknown. So what this tells me, when I have 2 cards like this, it's this one caused this one. Do you see what I'm saying? So what this tells me is that you've come to terms with a situation. You've come to peace. You've kind of gotten that aspect of, you know what? It is what it is. And that's how it's going to be. So I'm just going to just let it be. You've gained a lot of inner peace with a situation that's been causing you a whole bunch of turmoil and conflict and stress and anxiety. But with coming to terms with this and with just saying, you know what? I can't change it anymore. I'm just going to let it ride, let it be. It's like you're embracing this unknown aspect. But the known unknown card represents, it's almost like when you can see the train wreck coming for someone and you have screamed at them until your face is absolutely purple. You're not blue in the face, you are purple in the face. And they still are just going la 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 la, and they're on the train track still. And so eventually you just kind of have to go, you know what? Done. I'm done. Like that's where you are. That's where you are. You've come to peace with it, that you can't continue to do what it was you were doing. You can't change this person. You know what I mean? You just can't. But you can see the train wreck coming. So the other 2 cards are kind of interesting because you have the reflect card and then you have the conflict, counsel, and justice card. So here's the thing, and this is where the universe sucks. Well, it's funny and it sucks at the same time. So you know how I just said that you came to terms with that and you're like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm just going to let it be. Well, the train wreck's going to happen. And when the train wreck happens, guess who this person is going to come to for advice, for trying to get out of things, to help them reflect and figure out what the hell is going on. Aw, thank you, Elle. I appreciate that. They're going to come to you because you saw the train wreck coming, and they're going to say, I know you saw it, and I know I was an asshole or whatever, but I need your, like, they're literally going to come, like, crawling right back. Oh, girl, I'm sorry. The other aspect of this is this tear card at the end. The whole thing is kind of going to be in your hands to help them reflect or not. You can be their counsel. You can help them move forward. You can push them for more conflict. Or you can cut them off and be the hand of justice. I wish I could tell you which one is the right way. And I know most people would say, well, you should be their counsel. Not always. Not always. Because there are some times that that person needs it dished right back out to them. So the decision is going to be yours, LaGayla, when they come back. and they need to reflect, and they need help, and they need peace, and so on. It's going to be your decision on how you handle it. And the fact that I don't get an answer here, the fact that it's not, oh, you need to be justice, or you need to be their counsel. The fact that I didn't get an answer like that tells me that this is a karmic bond that you have with this specific person. And this decision right here is going to be something that you have to overcome in this life. You're going to have to overcome this. So you have to make the decision. I wouldn't flash make the decision. Does that make sense? Like, I wouldn't just instantly make it. Your gut's going to tell you instantly what you need to do. But you need to pause and think about it for a little bit and kind of play things over. Because each one of these three things, each one of these three decisions has completely separate consequences. I wish I could give you a hint. I wish I could be like, hey, I think it's this, but I literally don't. It's just like, you know, when you get to, or you see those TV shows where the, cartoons, excuse me, where they break the universe and they're just floating in white. Like, they're just floating. Everything is white. That's it. And they're like, we broke the universe or whatever. Like, that's all I see. It's just white after that. There's nothing. So this is literally a karmic bond that you have to undo. But you're right. The train wreck is a-coming. The train wreck is a-coming. And I'm proud of you for stepping back from it and not being on the train. So, wish I could give you a better answer. Like, it kind of irritates me that I can't give you a better answer. Just saying what I'm saying. Yeah, you're out of it. But just know they are going to come back to you and ask you for, they're going to ask you for advice. Yeah. So, I hope that made sense, sugar. Even though I couldn't give you a good answer there at the end. Hopefully it was the answer you needed. Let me say it that way. You're welcome, sweet pea. I'm glad you're doing good. All right. Stephanie Busby. No, I usually don't do rune readings. Just because. I have several sets of runes. Stephanie, you throwing cards at me. Oh, that one stays over there. Gotcha. I have several sets of runes, but I just usually don't read with them. Hey, the shirts are unisex. They're really soft. I've been kind of impressed with them, but yeah, they're unisex shirts. I assume you're talking about the shirts on my website. All right, Miss Stephanie Pooh. Oh, got you. Yeah. I'll have them in stock from now on. And I will say this, they fit slightly big because I got a medium, and I usually wear a medium. I'm a little top heavy, so a lot of times the medium is a little tight, but this one's pretty loose. It's pretty loose. So if you wear a large, get you a large. If you know what I mean? So I would say get true to size. You see what I'm saying? That's what words. Words are words. It's that kind of thing. All right. Thank you, Miss Kathryn. I appreciate that. All right. Here we go, Stephanie. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah. The labradorite. Yeah. So we are in the process of fixing all the inventory right now. So, yeah. Words are stupid. All right. Here we go. Stephanie, you start off with judgment and the final decision. Then you have peace and counsel. Thank you for the bears. Then you have loyalty. And then you have fairness and judgment. What I think is interesting is that both the beginning and the end of this is judgment and judgment in two different ways. It's interesting. Bear, just go in there and see. All right. They're going to bark for just a minute. So, you ever heard that term, what goes around comes around? Yours isn't quite like LaGayla's, okay? But this is kind of interesting. I think that you are right at the beginning of this situation right now. You're trying to be fair in a situation, and you're trying to help and just kind of not get into it too much, but yet you keep getting drug into it. I don't feel like this is just with one person though. So I don't know if this is like a family situation, a work situation, whatever. It's a situation with a lot of people. So you're trying to be like, hey, look, you know, I'm going to be over here. I'm just trying to be fair. I'm not trying to get involved. I don't want to be on anybody's side. Like, you're trying to be the good person. You're trying to take the higher road here. And they keep not letting you. So you're going to have to make the decision to literally just step away, to step completely away from it. And the only reason I say that you should step away from it is because of that peace card next. You're going to have to protect your inner peace and be loyal to you. If you don't protect your inner peace, you are going to get swallowed up in this situation. And if you get swallowed up in this situation, it's going to just catapult it. It's going to just catapult it. So you are going to have to step out of it. Just completely step out of it. This helps protect your inner peace. It helps you stay loyal to your beliefs, where you're going in life. And it allows them to hash things out without that catalyst in there. Now, this is where the what goes around comes around. By you stepping out of it, by you protecting your inner peace, and by you being loyal to your path, there are going to be people in the situation that are going to see that and take note. When they take note of that, they're going to start doing the same thing and pulling back. So fully expect for some people in this situation, I'm glad this makes sense. Fully expect some people in this situation to reach out to you. It may be 6 months, it may be a year, it may be 6 years down the road, but fully expect these people to reach out to you and be like, hey, do you remember that time, you know, when you just kind of washed your hands of this whole situation? I'm glad you did because it gave me the strength, blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of like, you are the lead duck and all the other little ducks are going to follow suit. So I'm glad that this makes sense as I'm wordsing my wordsy way through the words. So be the strong one, walk away, sweet pea, and yeah. You're welcome, sweetie. All right, Sarah Gruber. I'm so glad you got your spiritual urgent care box. Guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please make sure you do. We are still getting stuff shipped out, and I thank you guys for being so patient with stuff. It has literally just been Shane at the shop. Now that my traveling is over for the rest of the year, I will be there. I've hired somebody, but it's a lot. It's a lot. If you don't follow me, you need to. I posted what I've done over the last couple of days. I finished all the custom candles, all the orders I had for those. There's like 40 something of them. There's a lot. So yeah, it's been a little crazy. So I appreciate you guys waiting and being so patient. I really, really do. Thank you. I wanted to get all of those past spiritual urgent care orders out before I do another one. And those will all be out this weekendish. So yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you love the shop. Make sure you guys come join me on Tuesday. I have a live, and I can't wait for you guys to see the what I have in store going forward. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. So we all have a date on Monday about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. It's going to be fantastic. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Yeah? Yeah? I'll do another urgent care probably the first week or so of August. I don't know yet. So, but yeah, I got you. I got you. We got all kinds of more shit coming in too. Anyway, all right. Miss Sarah. Sarah's like, read my cards, bitch. Shut up and read. All right, here we go. All right. So you start off with tardiness and lethargy. Isn't that like the grossest little dude? He's just the grossest little dude. There's another one in there that's kind of gross too that I'm like, oh, like their feet are weird. I don't know. I'm not a foot person. I'm not a foot person. So I'm like, nah. All right. Then you have Keeper of Secrets. You're welcome. Then you have the Spirit of Fire. And then you have Ambition and Drive. Okay? So, Miss Sarah. I know you feel like the universe has been like holding you back lately. You know how we go through all of these things where every now and then it's like, yeah, I feel like the universe has literally got its fucking thumb on my head and I can't move forward. I can't do anything. Like the universe is holding you back on purpose. So I'm just going to ease your mind and tell you it is. It totally is. You are being held back on purpose. It happens to everybody, so you're not alone. It happens to all of us. Either we start moving in a way that we didn't need to, or we start rocketing down our path too far, or there's something happens, some shift where the universe is like, look, I need you to just sit for a minute, just sit, okay? I also, seeing this Keeper of Secrets, I also can tell that you feel like things are being kept from you at the same time that you're being held back. It's like standing right up close to the edge of a cliff and seeing the most beautiful landscape ever, but you can't quite get to the edge of the cliff for some reason. And you know it's there. Like you know that if you just looked over the cliff, enlightenment would ensue, but you can't get to the cliff. It happens to all of us. So, I know it's frustrating. And I mean, frankly, when it happens to me, it just flat pisses me off. So I understand that too. But let me say this. Part of what happens when you have these two things happen, when you're being held back by the universe on purpose, when the universe is keeping secrets from you on purpose, not just, oh, you're going to learn them later, like on purpose. It's because it's burning all of that bullshit away. Just like going through a massive amount of change, when you're stagnant for so long and you know you're stagnant and you know that the universe is holding you back, it lights this fire that burns away all of these tethers. That spirit of fire right here is what's about to rocket you forward. Part of what's being burnt away are some old beliefs and some old ambitions. And I'm going to say it that way because this last card here is ambition and drive. Sometimes when we keep trying to push forward on a path that's no longer our path, we get stuck like this. Because the universe is like, look, I've been giving you all of these other signs that you're supposed to go this way, and you're continuing to chug along this way. So I'm just going to hold you back on purpose. Let this fire burn out all of this stagnation and all of these old ambitions. you're going to wake up one morning and just realize that the ambitions you had are not the ones you need, that you actually need these up here. You're setting your bar too low, sugar. You're setting your bar too low. Plan to take over the world, okay? That's a good high bar. Okay? That help, Miss Sarah? All right, Angela Price, are we ready? What's my feelings on all of the alien talk? I feel like they've been here for a very long time, and I feel like a lot of this is just a we're gonna release it now because there's all this other shit going on that we don't want you to see. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Because they've been here for a very, very long time, and we've known they've been here for a very, very long time. And then suddenly it's like, oh, the world is about to catch fire and burn. But look over here, aliens. I know that you have no job, and I know you have no money, and I know you don't know how you're going to afford, you know, paying rent or feeding your kids. But aliens, aliens, aliens. I know that, you know, the world could blow up tomorrow because there are some crazy people with their fingers on nuke buttons, but aliens are here. We've known about them for a long time, but now they're here. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, ooh, shiny. That's exactly it. All right. Miss Angela, I need to get through my list. So, yeah. Yeah, I could go on. I could go on. I probably need to make a video, huh? Yeah. All right. So you start off with gateway, opportunity, and warning. Hey, Christine, how are you, sweet pea? Then you have master craftsmanship and diligence. Then you have spring and new beginnings. And then you have the known unknown. This is where I just need a little photo of the guy. You know, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. Yeah. Just saying. All right. I'm having a problem getting comfortable today. So, yeah. We're just going to continue to shift and move and do all the things. All right. Miss Angela. It's just that kind of day. It's just that kind of day. All right. So, the universe has been sending you sign after sign after sign after sign lately, and I have a feeling this is another one. But here's the thing. I don't think that this is confirmation. What I think is going on is this. I think that the signs that are going on, the signs that are popping up around you, I think some are missing, that you're missing them. They're not hitting where they're supposed to. And then I think the other ones are being misinterpreted. So in a way, yes, it is confirmation that, yes, you are getting all of these signs from the universe. But here's the thing, and I'm going to read you these other cards because I'm going to read you these two, and then we're going to talk about this last one because these two are the ones that I think are being misinterpreted and missing. Okay. So first of all, whatever it is that you stopped doing, whatever it is you gave up, this was a creative endeavor, whether it was singing, whether it was actually making something, whether it was art, whatever it is, whatever you gave up, whatever you stopped doing, you need to start that back up again with a fervor. Don't just like, well, you know, I think I've got a free evening here in a week or two, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll just paint then. No. you need to jump your ass right back into this. Okay? You need to jump your butt right back into this. I mean, don't let go of this. And I don't know if somebody talked you into stopping or if just life got in the way or whatever. And if it was somebody that talked you into stopping, then I hope they get their karma. They will. It's karma. But the other thing is this. And this is the one that I think is just missing completely. The first one is the one that was being misinterpreted. It's not, I knew that was coming. It's not starting something new. It's getting back to what you're already good at. The one that's being misinterpreted, or the one that's going just completely the wrong way, is this. And that is the spring and new beginnings. By you getting back into this craftsmanship that you paused, that you stopped doing, by you getting back into it, this starts a whole new chapter of your life. It starts a whole new chapter of your life by getting back into those things. Oh, you have been thinking about getting back into creative things. I love that. So you understand exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. This starts a whole new chapter in your life. The known unknown card at the end here. This new chapter is going to be something that you kind of hoped for, but you weren't ever really sure it would happen. Does that make sense? You weren't really sure it would happen. Get back to doing all these creative things. Let it change your path. Let it change your life. Let it change where you're supposed to be going. Okay? It'll put you in a place that you've been dreaming about, honey. Okay? This is absolutely your sign to do the things. All the things. Bigger and better than everyone else. And I'm glad that made sense. I'm glad I looked up just in time to see that you said you've been thinking about it. You're welcome, sweetie. All right, Miss Karen, you ready? Okay, so it's a little hard to shuffle with my leg like this. I love you right back, Miss Angela. Ah! Of course. Sorry, Bear Bear. Bear got hit with a card. Hey, how are you? I knew that you had come in a while ago, but I didn't see if you were still here. How are you? All the things, all of them, everything, all of it. I'm so glad. I'm trying to decide if I'm cold enough that I want to pull my blanket over on my feet or if I'm just being a weenie. I'm probably just being a weenie. All right. Here we go, Miss Karen. So you start off with Odin, which is wisdom and poetry and language and being able to see everything at once. And then you have the reconciliation of opposites. And this is the one that fell on the floor that hit Bear. Then you have these other two that came out at the same time. So the top one is economy and revenue, which leads to decision, performance, and impact. Okay? So let's talk about these first two first. What I find interesting is that they go hand in hand. When you gain wisdom, you start to reconcile a lot of opposing beliefs and feelings. When you gain this omniscience and you're able to see everything all at once, you start to reconcile a lot of opposing people in your life. Having both of these together, I mean, they literally go hand in hand. The more you learn, the more you know, the more you see, the more you reconcile all of these loose ends and opposing beliefs and so on. So I have a feeling that you've been in this awesome cycle of growth. And I was doing this for a reason, because when you're in this, when you see that these things go hand in hand, it's not just like, okay, one cycle and you're done. That's not how it goes. It starts doing this, and you just continually go up, 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 to the point that you get to a place where you kind of feel that you don't belong in and around the situations that you used to be in and around. It's not that you feel too good for those situations. It's that you yawn too much. No, it's that you no longer feel like you need those things in your life. You no longer feel like they're a part of you. And these may be things that were a massive part of your life for a long time. So the advice I'm going to give there, because I think a lot of that is confirmation that, yeah, this is happening. You have been shifting, you have been changing, you have been craving different ideas, higher situations. But the only thing I'm going to say about this here is make sure you take time to grieve those losses, because those are things that were a part of you and who you were. So you have to kind of grieve those losses. Give them the emotion that they need. But these other two cards are interesting because the economy and revenue is on top, and underneath is the decision performance impact card. So apparently some of the things that you're walking away from are the very things that were keeping you from making really important decisions that also in turn kept you from being more economically successful. So know that the further away you get from some of these things, the more decisions you're going to have to make, and the more yawns you're going to have. But the more decisions you make, the more impact it's going to be on your path, and the stronger you're going to become. Words, because the performance part of this, it isn't so much like you're just going to start performing more. The decisions, the impacts, all of that force you to be they force you to be on a whole separate level. And every time you hit a new level, you're like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. As you make these decisions, as you change all of these ways that you perform with everyone around you, it's only going to make your finances go up. Your economy, everything around it, your abundance, all of that. So all of that is basically saying you're absolutely on the right path that you're supposed to be on. So I don't know if you've been kind of questioning it lately or what, but honey, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and then some. I know that a lot of times when we have these things happen and we continually move forward, we do get kind of sad about leaving people behind, situations behind, etc. It just is. It happens to everybody. It just is. Okay? So, it sucks, but it just is. I love that you said you keep trying to grow. Thank you, Kat. I'm proud of you for that, because we get in a habit of growth for so long that after a while we're like, I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I'm just taking a break. And then we take a break and we don't get back up on that horse. And so then we kind of screw ourselves. So I love that new has come in too. That makes me happy. That makes me happy because you absolutely deserve it. You absolutely deserve it, sweet pea. I'm proud of you for this, because it's hard to continually change and grow and shift, because there's stupid ass shadow work shit that comes right back in all the time and re-triggers us and makes us feel not good enough all over again. And it is what it is, and I'm proud of you for that. I love you right back. Well, maybe you're supposed to hang out with this Rainbow Bright. All right, Mariah, you ready? Maybe I need to go turn the fan off. Maybe that's what it is. I'm actually cold. It's so weird. I go outside and I'm like, oh, this feels good for a minute. And then I'm out there for like 2 seconds and, you know, my whole skin is roasting off. And I'm like, this sucks. And I go back inside and I'm like, God, this is cold. But if I turn the heat, if I turn the air conditioning up a little bit, then I'm too hot. So explain that. Hot flashes are fun. Not really. All right. Hey, Miss Mariah, I saw you over there on YouTube. All right. So, okay. So you also start off with gateway and warning. Opportunity and warning. Then you have spring and new beginnings. Then you have 2 cards that came out on top of each other. So you have the balance of contraries, which leads to creativity and artistic struggle. So you're kind of at a crossroads right now. You're ready to step out into some new beginnings and move forward, but something is keeping you from making that first step. And what's interesting is, I don't think that it's so much a warning as it is that you just can't see the path. I think that I think what's going on is that you've been burnt so many damn times by a new path that now that this new path is here in front of you, you're kind of like, I don't want to step on that. I don't want to step on that. And I totally understand. And in fact, I think anybody that's had a lot of shift and changes in the last few years absolutely understand. I cannot with myself yawning tonight. I almost wanted to say that you'll be ready to step on the path when you're ready. But you already know that. I think that the universe is probably going to shove you on that path before you actually think you're ready. Because if we have to just sit and wait and be like, oh, okay, I get to decide when I'm ready to move forward, a lot of people would never move forward. Because we always think we're going to do it tomorrow. And then we're like, well, I'll do it the next day. Or the next day. And we just never do it. So I have a feeling that the universe is going to shove you down that path before you ever get to make the decision. What I find interesting are these last 2 cards. The balance of contraries, which leads to creativity and artistic struggle. This tells me that your brain, both sides of your brain, kind of war with each other all the time. You want to be very logical and you want to make the right choices and do the right things and take all these steps. And on the other hand, you absolutely just want to be a hippie and an artist and travel around and not do anything and just go where the flow takes you. So you're fighting with you, maybe not to that extreme, but you know what I'm saying. You're fighting with your brain all the time. Do you be normal and do the right thing? Or do you just completely be that artsy hippie that you want to be? So you're going to have to find that balance in between those 2 things. And I'm not going to lie, like, it's hard. It's hard. I'm a very artistic person. I'm very eclectic, hippie, weird, whatever. But at the same time, like, my brain has to have logic. My brain has to have science and numbers and all of those things. And it took me a long time to figure out how to balance those two out. And I still have problems sometimes. I promise that you'll find a good balance of those two if you just let them work together. It'll bring you to a new phase of creativity that really, that I don't think you've been at in a long time. Thank you, sugar. I appreciate that. But I will say this. The universe is going to shove you on your path before you're ever ready to step on it. So you can always get a jump on the universe by just jumping on the path first. But that's completely up to you. It's completely up to you. Hey, Heather. If you'll shoot a message to the site, Sass is about to help me get everybody rescheduled. Good night, Miss Carrie. I love your face right back. All right. I have Bitsy, Deborah, Kathryn, Emily, Felicia, and Jackie. And then I'm going to take my butt to bed. Good. I'm so glad, Mariah. Woo. Why are you throwing all the cards at me, Bitsy? Like, all of them. Okay, not all of them, but most of them. Most of them. All right. Ready? What is up with this fucking card? Oh, okay. There's always one. There's always one card that wants to pop up a lot until I call it out. So I'm going to call it out so now it won't show up anymore. All right, so you had two cards come out first, come out together. So the top one is the feminine intellect, and that leads to the Lord of Misfits. So I'm not going to say or make a joke that you're doing some shit, because you're not quite yet. But in trusting your gut, you're continuing to bring in all of these weird new gifts, abilities, things you want to do, etc. You're continuing to find things on your path that you're like, wow, nobody does that. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Like, you're continuing to find this crazy mishmash hodgepodge of just interesting shit. So continue to trust your gut. Because as you're trusting your gut and as you're bringing in this hodgepodge of shit, it's exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be on that straight path that other people are on. Not that anybody's really on a straight path. All the misfit shit that's coming into your life is supposed to be there. It'll make sense, just not right now. Just not right now. These other two aspects are interesting, though. I wanted to talk about those specifically before I told you about these other cards, because I know that just in talking to you a lot that you've kind of struggled back and forth with some of the things that have been popping up for you. I would say don't struggle with them, but it's not that easy, and we all know it. If you're struggling with it, you're going to struggle with it. It just is. So just know that a lot more misfit shit is going to come fall right in your lap, okay? Like, there's no way around it. It's going to happen. Just let it happen, okay? Just let it happen. The next card is the Gateway, Opportunity, and Warning card. And for you, this is absolutely opportunity. It's not the gateway or the warning, okay? The next card is the Loyalty card. You have a really interesting opportunity coming your way. I wish that I could tell you a little bit more about what that opportunity is, but you have an interesting opportunity coming your way. And all of it stems from your loyalty to this person or this situation. I actually think it's both. It's a person and a situation. It's like both together. But your loyalty to both of those things is what's going to lead to this really big opportunity. So I don't think that this opportunity is going to pop up for a few months. I'm just letting you know. All the groundwork is being laid for it right now. And as you continue to be loyal, that opportunity continues to get closer, 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 closer. You know what I mean? Like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's getting bigger, 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 bigger. The clue, a lot of the clue is this misfit aspect over here. Because having that Lord of Misfits with that intellect, and the intellect, that intuition is what keeps you loyal to this situation, this person, etc. All of this misfit aspect is what is going to help you even more with this opportunity. It's all wrapped up together. So if you're wanting to learn something weird, learn something weird. If you're wanting to do this or do that and it's weird or whatever, do it. Literally do it, because that's what's going to lead you to this opportunity. Both of these things come together in this opportunity here. So I'm just going to say the weirder the better. I don't know. The weirder the better. But trust your gut, because that feminine intellect is what's going to lead you through all of this. And I am curious about what this opportunity is too. So yeah, I'm absolutely curious about it, because I think it's going to be really interesting. So yeah. Does that help? Or did it just give you more questions? Because it probably just gave you more questions. Because I'm good at that. I'm good at that. I think probably here in just a couple of months, this opportunity is going to pop up, and it's going to be one that's going to just kind of fall in your lap, because you've already been doing all the things that you needed to be doing to be offered the opportunity. I love you right back, sweetie. I love you right back. Yeah. So just know that when that opportunity pops up, it's probably going to blindside you. All right, Deborah, you ready? Apparently Deborah's throwing cards too. Got to make sure that one stays all whopper jawed like it fell out. Hey, Deb. All right. See? All that stuff went off, and now I'm hot. I can't win for losing. You always throw cards at me, Deb. I'm gonna put that a little note behind yours. Deb throws cards. That's what's going in your thing on the site. Deb throws cards. All right. Well, you know, since I called that other card out, we didn't get it in this reading, so there's that. All right, so you actually start off with guarding the treasure. And then, I thought I was going to yawn. It's like I feel it coming. There it is. It's so weird. I can feel it like right here in my jaw. I was like, just fucking yawn. Okay, so then you have claiming new ground, and it's whopper jawed, okay? Meaning that it's doing this. It's on its way. Then you have mindfulness and lightness. And then you also have the fiery wrath. What's up with the fiery wrath card? We're going to call it out too, so it'll quit showing up too. But let's talk about this other stuff over here. Because starting off with this guarding the treasure tells me that you've really been stockpiling some things around you. You've got some anxiety. You've got some interesting ideas and thoughts about the world, about yourself, about your spiritual health, all of that stuff. So you've been like stockpiling things. You took over a hot mess store in May? Okay. So you've been stockpiling some things. And now you're getting to the point where this is starting to happen. You're starting to see positive changes come. Whereas this was like this and you felt like you were losing ground, now you feel like you're starting to finally gain some new ground. Not quite completely there yet, but you feel like you're getting there. What I love about this is that this whole situation with you stockpiling and guarding the treasure has really caused you to be mindful of everything around you. And it's also showing you kind of the impermanence of a lot of things that you thought were always set in place like they were supposed to be. And you're finding that they absolutely are not. But a lot of times just realizing that impermanence is a thing. Impermanence is the only permanent thing in our life. I think that is actually really funny if you think about it. Impermanence is the only permanent thing in our life. The Fiery Wrath card, what's really funny is it almost doesn't make sense with the rest of these cards, but it does at the same time. Because when you've been trying to cash and hold on and stockpile things, and you've been trying to claim new ground, and you've been trying to be mindful, and someone else shits all over that, then it's hard not to incur the Fiery Wrath. And so I have a feeling that that's what's going on. You've been working so hard with all of this other aspect, and someone has decided to just continually shit on it. And so now you're kind of in the Fiery Wrath mode. So I'm going to say this. The Fiery Wrath is absolutely deserved. It's absolutely deserved. Whatever it's aimed at, like legit aimed at, not just, you know, being flung at everyone, it's deserved. Just be careful that that Fiery Wrath doesn't spill over. Oh, you're shorthanded. Everybody is. Just be careful that that Fiery Wrath doesn't spill over into areas that it doesn't need to be. Okay? I'm sorry you're shorthanded. It's hard as fuck to find people to work right now, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why. So, but yeah, I see people all the time complaining that they can't find a job, and then I see employers saying that they can't find people to work. And so I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah. Well, I will say this. That Fiery Wrath is well deserved. So if you have somebody that's pissing you off on purpose, that Fiery Wrath is well deserved. So yeah. Yeah. I love that, Monique. That's awesome. I always tell Shane he can't ever leave me. Like, you can't ever leave me. So I wish I had a good answer for you on how to fix things, aside from yawning. But I'm going to say, as I started to say, I wish I had a good answer, my eyes got drawn back to this guarding the treasure card, the stockpiling, etc. Pay attention to what you've been stockpiling in the past and what you're stockpiling now. Because I think that has a good answer on some of this other stuff that's going on. And I'm sorry you're having to deal with that. I know how stressful that is. Trying to hire more people is stressful as shit. It is stressful as shit. And I'm sorry you got to take over a hot mess store, and I know that it's going to be fantastic. Now that it's not a hot mess, now that it's just hot. Or maybe just a mess. I don't know. Whichever one. Whichever one. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But you have every right to have that Fiery Wrath, Deb, okay? Pay attention to what you're stockpiling, because that's where my eyes kept getting drawn. The 5th manager in less than a year. Holy shit balls. Holy shit balls. Girl. Girl. That's insane. That's insane. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You work in Casey's. I love that everybody's like, do you work here? Do you work here? Do you work here? Oh, I love that, Deb. They must have a lot of faith in you. They must have a lot of faith in you to get things fixed and done. So yeah. That was just funny. Do you work here? Do you work? Yeah, it is a shit show everywhere. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Hey, that's fantastic. Congratulations on that. That's a big jump. All right. Kathryn, are you ready? I'm just going to start singing it in a weird way like that. There she is. All right, love. You ready? Okay. So you start off with spring and new beginnings. Great way to start off. Then you have healing and medicine. Then you also have the loyalty card. This one's popped up a lot today too. And then you have the keeper of secrets. So I'm not going to lie, when I first saw these, I was like, what you doing? What you about to start learning? But I think that I need to learn how to quit yawning so much. I'm even trying to breathe and take plenty of breaths. Let me just say this. The new shift that you're going through is a lot of healing. It's a lot of moving forward. It's a lot of letting go of trauma. It's a lot of finding new ways of being a better you. And you're going to go through a lot of shifts and changes. We all do when we go through new beginnings. I'm proud of you for that. I'm super proud of you for that, because having the balls to walk through a new beginning and actually do the healing and actually let go of the trauma and move forward and so on is so fucking hard. And I don't think people give themselves enough credit for how hard it is. Not everybody does this. Not everybody heals. Some people stay stuck in the trauma aspect. So here's the thing that goes along with these other two cards here, because you have loyalty and you have the keeper of secrets. When you go through and you're healing and you're learning ways of making yourself better, don't share that with just anyone. Don't share that with just anyone. Not everybody needs to be privy to how you manage to move forward, how you manage to let go of some of these really crazy traumas in your past, how you manage to heal, how you manage to have new beginnings, how you manage to be successful where they weren't. Keep that information close to your chest. Not everybody needs to know that information, because you're going to have people that come out of the woodwork from the past. They don't really care about the information. They're just trying to figure out how they can use it to bring you back down to their level. So don't tell everybody everything that you've done about your healing. Don't tell everybody everything that you've done about moving forward and about this new beginnings. They don't need to know. It's none of their business. be loyal to you, be loyal to the people that have stuck by you for your highest good, and be loyal to the new people that are coming in that have never given you a reason not to trust them, like the people in your past have. And I have a feeling it's going to be hard for you, because when people come in and they're like, well, I want to heal like you did. I want to be successful like you did, and so on. And they have screwed you over repeatedly in the past. In no way did they get information, did they get the ability to get that information of what you did to heal. They're no longer privy to that information. And it's going to be hard for you to say no, but once you say it once, it's going to get easier and easier and easier and easier. Okay? Thank you for that, Tiffany. I block that person every time they pop onto my messages and so on. Felt hard lately, like your whole life is being deconstructed. Of course it will change. For those of you guys on TikTok, she said that she felt like she basically doesn't have a purpose, and that it felt like everything was being deconstructed, and she wasn't sure when that was going to change. I'm just going to tell you, love, and this is for all of you guys, that it happens all the time to everybody, all the time. Focusing on you and paying attention to where you're going in life is really the only way that you can get around some of this BS. It happens to everybody. Everybody. And if somebody says that it never happens to them, then either they're lying out of their face or they're stagnant. And I don't know which one's worse. So, you'll move forward when you're supposed to, I promise. I promise. Okay? I promise. You're not being deconstructed or anything like that. You're just getting ready. You're just getting prepared. Even though it's a shitty way to prepare. It's a shitty way to prepare. You're welcome, sweetie. I hope that helps a little bit. I know it's hard when you feel like you're stuck. I know it's hard. But I promise you're not stuck, okay? Evolution, exactly. All right, Miss Emily. I would like for you to do the thing. Hey, some people go through 100 years of prep. Wow. And then some people just drop whole parts of their card decks. There's that. I don't know who that person is. Are you ready, Emily? Oh, shit. So my grandpa used to say, dropped your luck and picked up a gold mine. That's what he used to say all the time. We'd be playing a board game or something and drop something. That's what he would say. All right. So you also start off with the Berserker, the warrior. Then you have the fiery wrath. Wow, okay. Then you have the present. And then you have Nightmare. We haven't seen her yet. Usually she pops out a few different times. So, girl, what you got going on right now? What you got going on right now? Because every single one of these cards talks about a situation where either you are, well, I'm not going to say either. Every single one of these cards talks about a situation where you are being completely taken advantage of, where someone is just twisting and turning everything. Like they're doing it on purpose. And it's got you stuck in this nightmarish loop. It's actually going to take you being mean and being the berserker, being the fiery wrath to get you out of this loop that you're in. Because I have a feeling that this person has been doing it to you repeatedly. But what's awesome is that present card right there. Because that tells me, hey Shandy, thank you so much, sweetie. That tells me that right now is the time when they have literally been doing this enough that you can see it every time they even open their mouth to breathe some new bullshit your way. Honey, you're going to have to get mad. You're going to have to get angry, and you're going to have to let them have it. Like, now is the right time to do this. Now is the right time. You're going to have to do this. I don't think that you're a person that likes to get mad. Because seeing the berserker and seeing the fiery wrath, I don't think that you're a person that likes to get mad. Otherwise, you would have already done it. I think that you are mad. You've already been irritated about it. You've already been taking all the, let me just breathe, let me count to 10, let me, all those things. But you haven't let it go. You haven't let the anger push the situation away. And you're going to have to. I understand. I don't like getting mad either. And when I get pushed to the point that I get mad, I don't like it. I don't like it. Some people like being mad. I don't. I don't like being mad. But sometimes we have to get to that point where we get mad. And we do and say what needs to be done and said. And that's where you're at. And now is the time. Now is absolutely the time to be getting rid of the nightmare situation. So, got to channel your inner dinosaur. You get angry and mad. Say all the rars. You're gonna have to cut the situation off. You're absolutely gonna have to cut it off. I'm sorry, girly. I know that's a hard situation to be in, especially when it's not in your nature to be mad or anything like that. So. I wish I had a better, like, hey, all you got to do is do this and sidestep here and put a blue square here and it'll all be great. I mean, I guess you could do that. But, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but now is the right time. Apparently, the universe has been putting everything into place, so you can be the berserker, the fiery wrath. So, yeah. Oh, I love that resonated with you too, Raven Poo. Damn, fan came back on now. Freezing again. All right. Felicia. So, poor M has to get mad. Hey, Nikki, everybody's losing people right now, honey. It just kind of is. That's part of life, unfortunately, is losing people. And I'm sorry that you're losing a lot of people. And I wish I could just give you a big hug, honey. So just know that it's always going to be a thing. And just when we think we're used to losing people, something else shifts and happens. So I'm sorry that you're going through that, honey. All right, Miss Felicia. Oh, what's up with the fiery wrath card? Maybe all y'all just need to get pissed off. All y'all just get pissed off. All right. You actually start off with the Spirit of Lightning. I love this card. I think it's a really cool card. It's one of my favorites. Aw, you're welcome, Nikki, honey. Then you have Fairness and Judgment. And then you had two cards that came out. The top card is Nightmare, and underneath that is the Fiery Wrath. So I have a feeling this is two separate situations, but they do coincide with each other. So let's chat. Because this first one over here, the Spirit of Lightning and the Fairness and Judgment. I have this feeling that you used to be the person that it was very easy for you to make a decision to cut someone out of your life, to be fair, but at the same time, like, okay, you know, I'm going to be fair and I'm just not going to talk to you again, instead of like burning your whole world down. You were the person that easily could set these boundaries and cut things off when you needed to. For some reason, that lightning aspect has dimmed a little bit. I'm not sure why, but it has. So part of this is a reminder of that aspect of you. That you were known for being this lightning bolt that would absolutely obliterate a situation or a person, or just to cut things off. So I don't know if you've had a lot of people that have kind of been just sucking the energy out of you or what's going on, but you need to smack them all with a fucking lightning bolt. They need to let go. They need to quit being fucking leeches. Because it is going to cause a problem with you going forward. And what's going on right now, and this is one of the things I was saying, like, these two things are related, but they're completely separate things. Whereas this is kind of how you used to be when you were younger. This right here is something that's going on in your sleep lately. The fact that you have the Nightmare card and then you have the Fiery Wrath underneath it. And the reason I don't think that these two are the same situation is because the way that these last two came out. So I'm kind of curious, Felicia, if you A, remember your dreams, and B, if you're having some really rough dreams lately. Having the Nightmare card that's causing the Fiery Wrath tells me that there's a lot of anxiety, whether it's about this situation or about something else. There's a lot of anxiety that you're keeping pent up, and it's coming out in the form of really weird, bad dreams. Until you take control of either the anxiety or the dreams, nightmares a lot, okay, you're going to have to take control. If they've always been a thing, you're going to have to take control. I'm going to recommend nerding around on YouTube for a little bit after I'm done with your reading and finding you a couple of meditations that can walk you through getting you into a lucid dream state. Because I think that if you learn to kind of control these nightmares and to be the Fiery Wrath, that you're going to sleep a lot better. It's not hard to learn to lucid dream. What's hard is not waking up when you realize that you're dreaming. So it'll take you a couple of times to realize that you're lucid dreaming and then be like, I didn't wake up. You've got to be the Fiery Wrath in this nightmare. You've got to be. I wouldn't be surprised to know that you've had kind of repeating nightmares, that they're kind of just repeating. There it is. But do you see why I said these two are kind of related? Because when you have all this anxiety about holding on to things that are no longer yours and not cutting things off, that it bleeds over into your dreams and into making nightmares. So they're a hand-in-hand situation. I will say this too. There are some really, really good meditations on YouTube for lucid dreaming. Some of them are guided and some of them are not. I would recommend listening to a couple of guided ones and then going to the ones that are not, because I think that your brain needs the structure and needs to be walked through the things, because all of this lightning just being everywhere has to have some place to go. So if it can't go anywhere in the day, it's going to go somewhere in the night. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a lot, girly. You've got a lot of things in this big ball of wax right here. But start unpeeling it a little at a time. And then start working on this dream aspect. Girl, if you can get yourself lucid dreaming, holy shit. Holy shit. You are going to be a force to reckon with. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, the anxiety can cause the nightmares. The nightmares can cause the anxiety. The not being able to cut people off can cause the nightmares and can cause you to feel this fiery wrath. And then not acting on it can cause you to not cut people off. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. No, nightmares and dreams aren't always astral plane. Most of the time they're just our subconscious trying to tell us something. So yeah. Astral plane is, it's completely different feel. It's a completely different feel. Like you just know that you're no longer here. It's weird. You just know, if that makes sense. So yeah. I would start paying attention and writing them down as well. I usually voice record mine, or I voice text it, because I can't write as fast as words can flubber out of my mouth. So that's always a good thing. And then emailing them to yourself, creating yourself a separate email address that's just for those things will help you put a time and date stamp on them. So that way you can go back and go, oh, okay, well, I saw that Uncle Joe was going to get in a car wreck 2 weeks before it happened. Do you see what I'm saying? It also gives you a lot more confidence in what you're seeing and dreaming and so on. So yeah. Hey, love. Oh. Thank you, honey Smurvette. I appreciate that. It was a great day. Tomorrow's going to be a great day too. It's going to be a great day. So, that makes sense, Felicia, honey? All right. Miss Jackie. Oh, thank you, Bleeding Rose. Thank you for the compliments about my hair, love. It's a little faded, but that's okay. It has been a week. It has absolutely been a week with all the solar flares and the interesting astrological shit. Man, it's been a week. Like, this is one of those weeks where I'm kind of looking up going, how the hell is it already almost Friday? How is this? How is it Friday? How is it Friday already? All right. Here we go, Jackie. You start off with steadfastness and loyalty. Then you have the known unknown. Then you have reconciliation. And then you have perpetual desire. Yeah, I don't know how it got to be almost August either, at all. It feels like just yesterday it was June. And the day before that it was February. All right. All right. Oh, I love that I can help you in any way, sweetie. All right. So, there's some interesting things here. The whole undertone of this is relationship wise, love wise. This is like a vicious cycle. It's like being really loyal to someone, knowing they're going to fuck you over, then them fucking you over, then them coming back and them reconciling words, reconciling with you, and then something else happens and you're still pining after them, and then they come back because you've been loyal to that memory. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just like they just continue to do this. It's not quite gaslighting. It's just like they just feel like you're always going to be there and you're always going to drop whatever for them. And the thing is, the perpetual desire card back there, I don't feel like this is completely a sexual relationship. What I feel like this is more of you wanting to, you always wanting to make this person proud of you, to please this person, to make this person happy. So no matter how many times you reconcile with this person, they are always going to walk off in the end. They are always going to hurt you. They are always going to leave. They are always going to be this. Be this. I mean, it's literally a vicious cycle. It's one that you're going to have to break. It's one that you're going to have to break. You're going to have to get over your own sense of loyalty to this person for whatever reason you have this loyalty. Because even though it's a surprise every time when they leave, it's not. You already know they're going to. It's what they do every single time. You're also going to have to be the one that says no when they come back and want to reconcile. And it's going to suck. It's going to suck. And you're going to be heartbroken over it because it's going to be one of the hardest things that you've ever had to do is to tell them no. Because you really do care about them. And they know this. And they're completely using it to their own advantage. And I'm really sorry that someone has this push-pull, twisted relationship. I'm really sorry. It's not right. And people do it all the time to other people on purpose. So, Jackie, let me say this. I think that this is just confirmation with, you already know this person is like this. You already know it. So whether they're coming back in to reconcile again or they're on their way out, one or the other, it just, you're going to have to be the one to make the decision. You're going to have to be the one to make the decision. And just from experience, let me say this, okay? In living with somebody who was extremely narcissistic and was fantastic at gaslighting, it took me 4 times of actually leaving to stay gone, because I always believed that everything would be okay. That, okay, they were different this time. They were not different. They would never be different. It took me actually realizing from a hospital bed that this person was going to let me die and push me to having a seizure or whatever, to let me die, and then they were going to play the victim. It took me that level of smack in the face before I finally went, what the fuck are you doing here? Don't let it get to that point. Okay? Don't let it get to that point. Okay? because people will take advantage of you as much as you will let them. And when you set boundaries, they will call you an asshole. And when you continue to set those boundaries, they will say that you're being too harsh, or you're intimidating, or whatever. That's not it at all. It's that you have called them on their bullshit. So, Jackie, it's just the situation that you're going to have to put your foot down in, and you are going to have to be the one that walks away and puts all of the steel doors up and every lock you can find on the door, because you're always going to be tempted to let them back in until you wake up one morning and go, I have no idea who you are. And I'll tell you what, when you wake up and you look at that person, or that, you know, they call or whatever, and you go, this person is literally a stranger. They're literally a stranger to me now. It's a level of freedom that you haven't felt in a long time, and it will be something that takes a massive weight off your shoulders. So, just telling you from experience. But you can do it, I promise, you can. And I see that some of you guys are saying that you understand all of this, all of this, all of this. I'm sorry that so many of you guys have to deal with this. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, it's sad seeing it with anything, with a loved one, with family, with friends. It's yeah. It sucks with all of it. It sucks with all of it. So, yeah. No, you shouldn't be worried, honey. They're there. They have other people that they're helping too. So they're still there, I promise. That was a lot. That was a lot. You're welcome very, very much. Thank you guys for sticking through me with all of my yawns this evening. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, let me end YouTube over here. Thank you guys for hanging out for so long, and I will see you tomorrow.